Okay, what's up, Jooba People? We're at lesson number 7 in our ear training course where we figure out songs by ear, easy, pop, and rock, and folk and indie songs. Okay, so once you've found the key, which you should be able to do by now, okay, find the key to like about 30 different songs so that you can just like get really good at it, test yourself on Ultimate Guitar, or just Google what's the song of this, the key of the song, so that you can see if you're doing it right. All right. Then you want to find out how to play those chords. But the chances are, unless you find it like an easy key, let's say you find a song in the key of G. You're like, oh. You find this pattern working in a song, then you know the key is there where the pinky is, like we learned in the previous lesson. Then you know it's in the key of G. Then it's easy, right? You write down your chords, you write down your major scale in the key of G. Like, I'm just going to show you quickly. Remember, we learned our major scale pattern. G, what's after G? Let's just write in pink here so it doesn't disappear. G, A, remember whole step to B, half step to C, whole step to D, and whole to E, and then F sharp, and we're done. And then back to G. Okay, so, and then half step back to G. Okay, so we figured out our songs. We know that the 1 chord and the 4 and the 5 are major chords, and we know that the 2, the 3, and the 6 are going to be our minor chords. So we're going to write an A minor, B minor, and E minor. Okay, so there we found out our chords. We can Google how to play those chords, but if you're doing this course, you probably can play guitar already. So you'll know it's G, C, we'll just use C add 9, which is a nice chord to play in the key of G. We use D, and then you can try to figure out the song, right? Then you know what chords the guy's using in the song, and you can try to hear those chords, okay? Pretty simple, and remember, most songs stay in one key, so you'll likely get good results doing that. Okay, knowing those chords and then trying them out in different parts of the song. Now, at the end, we're going to do exercises where we actually do it. This lesson is just going about how do you figure out the chords once you found the key. So there we got the chords in the key of G. But what if it's like a hard song? Let's say it's in the key of G sharp. What do you do? And you can't play bar chords. Okay, so you can't just play a G sharp right off the bat. Well, it's simple. If the song is in G sharp, okay, you found out the key is G sharp, so like, and that note you figured out is a G sharp, and you can't play bar chords. What do? Well, you just use a capo. So you just take your capo, put it on the first fret, and then for all intents and purposes, you can think of the song now as in the key of G, and jam along with the song. But actually, you'll be jamming G sharp, C sharp, D sharp, not E sharp because E doesn't have a sharp, F minor sharp, F minor. You get what I'm saying? So actually, I'm not playing a G now, I'm playing a G sharp. But you can just think of it as playing a G, okay? So this is going to be a 1 chord, that's going to be a 4. You see what I'm saying? Let's say you find the key of the song is C sharp. What are you going to do then? Well, you can put your capo up all the way to C sharp, okay, which is on the 5th fret. How do I know it's on the 5th fret? Well, if it's on the 1st fret, it's G sharp. 2nd fret, what comes after G sharp? You see how important it is to know your musical alphabet? If you don't know it, go back to lesson 1 to see the musical alphabet. So capo 1 is G sharp, capo 2 is A, and so on and so forth until I get to capo 5 when I'm playing a G chord, I'm actually playing a C sharp. Okay? Then I can use these notes here to kind of know all the chords. Now, if I'm in this key, then my 1 is going to be G, my 4 is going to be 5, my D is going to be D, my G is going to be 5. That's what I mean. My E minor is going to be 6, and 2 A minor, 3 B minor. And then I can play a song in C sharp using my G chords, and I'm figuring the song out by ear. You see what I'm getting at? I'll show you an example of that in the next lessons, but this is basically very important, so to find the chords. Now, what if I don't want to use my G chords? I'm getting tired of these chords because they all sound the same, and I want to play the song with capo on the 2nd fret. Or maybe I see the original guys playing with capo on the 2nd fret, and I also want to play it there. Okay. So let's say you find a song in the key of E. So you find this little pattern here. You find that's the pattern that works over the song like we learned in the previous class. Then you know the keys on the pinky there, and it's the key of E. But you don't know any chords in the key of E. Well, what chords do you know? Can you play in the key of D? Now, first of all, let's just make sure we know our chords in the key of D. Okay, so what is our D scale? Remember the major scale formula? Whole step from D to E. Okay, remember that. And then we have another whole step from E to F. No, E to F sharp. Okay, so those are our notes. And then a half step to G. And then 3 whole steps to C sharp. And then a half step back to D. So our one chord is gonna be, have we got everything there in view? Yep, so our one chord is D, our 4 is G, and our 5 is A. Our 2 and 3 chords are E minor and F sharp minor. And our 6th chord is B minor. We're not going to worry about the 7th chord. And remember, our most important chords are our D chord, our G, A, and B minor. Those are our important chords. Next up is the E minor and then the F sharp minor. So if you can play those chords, you can play in the key of D. Now remember, we're thinking of how do we play in the key of E. Well, using our D chords, it's simple. You just put capo on the 1st fret, then it's D sharp, and then after D sharp, it's E. So now we're actually playing in the key of E, okay? Because we've got D, we're playing D, but we're taking it up 2 half steps. 1 half step will take it to D sharp, another half step to E. So now, for all intents and purposes, our song is in the key of E, and we can use these chords to figure it out. All right, that song that we figured out was in the key of E. We can figure out using the chords D, G, A, and B minor. Okay, so just to remember, the steps that you need for figuring out a song are 3 steps. Number 1, you find the key, okay? Using the method that we said in the previous video, okay? Find the key. That's important because that narrows down the chords that you can use for that song, because most songs stay in one key, okay? We'll look at hearing non-diatonic songs that go out of key in later videos, but this course is just to learn songs that stay in one key, which most songs do, okay? Find the key, then find the chords in that key, okay? In the key, okay? Only 6 chords, usually only 3 of them are used, okay? Not usually, I should say. Most modern music starts to use more than 3 chords, okay? But find the chords in the key, find the key, that's the first thing, find the chords in that key, and then you start trial and error, okay? You hear a song playing, you're like, let's just like pretend we're listening to a song, and then you kind of, well, I'm singing, sorry, that's a stupid example. You just hear the guitar strumming, and then you start strumming along with one of the 6 chords, and you start seeing which ones gel, right? You only have 6 chords, so you have 6 things to try on each chord, okay? The thing is, you should just play and pause the song, and then from there you find the chords, okay? But anyway, let's have just one more example. Let's say you find the key of the song is, okay, I didn't give you the first step. The first step is trial, and error. But if you just go into trial and error, or like most ear training things tell you, basically they just say, you got to just be more musical, and then you're going to figure it out. Or they have some tips like listening to the bass, which is a lesson that we're going to do. Listening to the bass is important. Recognizing major and minor chord, thinking is the chord happy or sad. But usually a song moves so quickly, like you can't think about, is this chord now happy or sad? Because in the context of the song, it feels happy and sometimes it feels sad. Like, I mean, this chord, an E minor chord, can sometimes sound happy depending on the sequence that we played in. Or maybe you have a G chord, but it's actually a G6. Then it will sound sad. Or an C6. And we'll get into learning those extensions later, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. It's not so simple, but it is simple if you do this way. Find the key, get the chords in that key, and start trialing and erroring. Is that even a word? Today it is. Okay, and then that's it. That's for lesson number 7. I'll see you in the future. Cheers. Who's watching at the moment? It'll be cool for me to see. Anyway, we're going to be do weekly live streams where we talk about figuring out song by ear. Okay, where we're just going to be talking about the stuff. Anyway, cheers.